Let's talk full-size trucks. I've either driven these full-size trucks for a week-long review, or I've bought these full-size trucks, or I've talked about them for the last couple of years. Hey, it's Tim, Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk. Last week, I did a video on mid-size trucks based on your viewer feedback. You guys said, hey, we want a video comparing them. And then the feedback was so strong, so positive, and you guys were like, hey, what about full-size? I'm like, well, I can do that too. So in this video, I'm just gonna kind of go over the overall markup. In some places it is a market. We'll talk about the trucks and talk about what kind of differences I see with them, just from my vantage point of doing this over a decade. Now, I want to clarify a couple things from last week's video. I talked about towing wasn't a big need for mid-size truck customers. Let me clarify a couple of these things for people in that in this video too, it'll apply. I get this information not from me, from my head. Yeah, I can tell you whether I like the seats or not, but I can't tell you what automakers tell me. Automakers told me that in the mid-size segment, towing wasn't a big deal. In the full-size segment, oh, a whole different ball game. We haven't got the heavy duty yet. Maybe I should do a heavy duty video. All right, enough of that. Let's go ahead and get to the video. Let's get to these websites. So I'm going to do it just based on the websites, the Chevrolet, Ford, and GMC, and that kind of stuff. And I kind of put them together in order alphabetically real fast. And I'm going to leave one truck out, and I'll explain that a little bit. So let's go ahead and start with Chevrolet.com. Yeah, so we have Motor Trend Truck of the Year. I just wrote the story up on the website, but let's go to vehicles, and we'll go to trucks, to my favorite section of the websites. I spent a lot of time in this section. I really like it. So we have, your differences there. Your Colorado, your Silverado, your heavy duty. We see some price differences. Now, let's talk about the Silverado, and we'll talk about the 2024 model year. The difficulty sometimes with full-size trucks is there's so many different variants of them, different trim levels, different engines, different things. So I'm kind of giving you an overall viewpoint on this. So the 2024 Silverado, you're gonna have a couple different versions of it. You'll have I'm gonna do off the top of my head, Crew Cab LT, RST. Let me see what a High Country, Custom Trail Boss. You have different colors. Big fan of blue, always big fan of blue. Although I don't like that one so much. Oh yeah, that's what I like. All right, so then you have different pricing, different capability. But overall, what you have with Chevrolet is you have a couple key things. You have the off-road capable Silverado ZR2. You have your base LT, your volume seller, your RST. You're a little bit higher up, your High Country, which is what I bought this year for the channel. A little bit more features inside. And then you have different engines. They have basically the big ones are the 2.7 liter Turbo Max, they're calling this engine. It's a small turbocharged engine. What turbocharging now is a big deal with truck manufacturers. They can cut emissions down by 30-40%. The customers get a better driving experience with more low-end torque, more horsepower as far as not so much more horsepower, but low-end torque. It just makes it customers like that. You don't always get better fuel economy, but you do get the better performance offline. So we have 2.7 liter. You have the 3 liter inline 6 Duramax diesel. Huge fan of that engine. You have the 5.3 liter V8, which has been around for many, many years. A 6.2 liter V8. Now, the 6.2 liter V8 and the 3.0 liter Duramax diesel are typically found in your higher trim levels. They're interesting engines in that people are like, oh, the diesel costs more and this, that, and fuel more. Well, the 6.2 liter V8 requires premium fuel to get the better horsepower and torque numbers and fuel economy. So it's kind of a net wash. And actually, when you do the build and price on these vehicles, you will see that the Duramax is actually cheaper. The diesel is cheaper than the gas engine. Okay, the 5.3 has been out there for many, many years. It's GM's V8 or GM's small block engine lineup has been renowned for being a really good engine. They did have some issues with lifters a couple years ago. We've covered that on the website. I don't hear that comment as much as I used to, so I'm not going to worry too much about the reliability on that. And you have the crew cab, you have a regular cab, you have extended cab, and then you have the work truck variants as well. So that's kind of what you're looking at. I mean, again, most people end up with an RST, and they decide between the 5.2 liter or the 2.7. I don't believe they offer the 4.3 anymore, but let's take a look, because I'd rather do it here than let you guys correct me in the comments, because trust me, when I make a mistake, I know it. I read all about it. So we have the crew cab short bed. Oh, did I select the ZR2? Yeah, we don't want to do that. Let's go into trim. Okay, we're going to trims. I'm going to go with the RST, which is more your volume model. You can see it's got a good look to it. It's got a slightly bit of chrome, not as much as LTZ. Your price point's a little bit different. You're looking at about $7,000 difference. And that Turbo Max, that's a 2.7 liter with a 5.3. And the 5.3, there's two different versions. And then we have the 3 liter and I guess two versions of the 3 liter and a 6.2. Interesting. A couple notes though on our transmission. The 8-speed transmission has been redone for this year. Could be 2023. I know it's for sure it's been redone. It was redone in Colorado in 2023, so it makes sense it was done in the Silverado in 2023. And the older 8-speed had a lot of issues with it. This one has been refined and improved. That's what he told me. The 10-speed is a joint collaboration with Ford, although the software and some of the internal mechanicals are different. But I haven't heard that many issues with the 10-speed with the V8. Again, the 3-liter Duramax outside, it's been flawless as far as 10-speed. So you're looking around RST, 4-wheel drive, Turbo Max starting with, but you're looking probably 56, 60, which is about average in today's truck market. That new average vehicle price this day is about $45,000. That includes sedans and cars and SUVs and trucks. And you're looking, about the similar price point with this. You can find some deals at times, but that's what you're looking at with the RST. Now, if you're going to step up and go to the GMC and say, wow, what's the difference between a GMC and a Chevy? Well, it used to be back in the day, the GMC was your work truck and the Chevrolet was more your consumer truck. Now they flip-flopped. Now the GMC is more your premium interior and premium look versus the Chevy Silverado. And you really can see this with the front end and how they position it. So remember the ZR2, the Silverado site. Go back for a second. Go all the way back. It's not letting me go all the way back. On the Chevrolet site, you saw the ZR2 was here. This is the Desert Runner. This is the Halo vehicle. This is not the vehicle they're going to sell a lot of, but it's going to bring you to dealership. The point of Halo vehicle is not to sell volume, it's to bring you in so you buy something else. With the Sierra, we're seeing a little bit different approach. We're seeing a little more premium, a little more towing, a little bit different idea. They do have an AT4X, and they do have an AT4X. Do they have an AAV edition? I think they do. Again, Brian, trying to do all this stuff off the top of my head and make sure I have all the details as accurate as I can. So you're looking at top. You have the Pro, which is a work truck, SLE, Elevation, SLT. SLT is more your kind of like your RST version of it on the Silverado side. It's more your volume seller. The AT4, AT4X, those are your off-road trims. And what GMC is doing here is they're trying to offer you an off-road trim with more luxury interior, which sounds counterintuitive until you go off-roading for multiple days. And I'm telling you, the better interior feels a lot better in your tushy long time. Everything is better. I mean, it just feels better. The Denali, and then they have the Denali Ultimate. The Denali Ultimate is probably it's just outrageous. It's just amazing how much of that interior. It is the luxury truck of interiors. And so when you look at build and price, we have the similar kind of, excuse my location. So, Jesus, all these little pop-ups. We have a similar kind of engine lineup, similar kind of trim lineup as far as cab size and then trims, right? We talked about the Pro, we talked about SLA, Elevation. Elevation does sell pretty decent as well. You can see the trims there. 52, 54 Elevation. When you get up to, I don't know why I can't see more trims. Maybe I picked the wrong one. Oh, 4-wheel drive. They only have certain versions in 4-wheel drive. So in 4-wheel drive, we should get more. No, we do not. What did I do wrong? Crew cab, short bed. Again, this is what makes things difficult because they only come in certain trims, only come in certain cab configurations and certain 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive. And then here we go. So we have the SLT. You see a little bit more chrome. Then you have the Elevation, a little more blacked out. You have a little bit different price point, $1,000 difference. Not that big of a deal when you're looking at a $50,000, $60,000 truck, or it should be just say $60,000 truck. The Ultimate, you're pushing $85,000 for a half-ton truck. Yeah, this is the boss's truck. This is the boss that wants to play and get dirty truck. This is more the I don't need to spend much money truck. This is more, hey, I just want to have a little better interior and get dirty. And then you look at the other trucks here, the SLT and the Elevation. Those are kind of your starting level. Then you go all the way down the Pro, which is just basically your work truck. So in Chevrolet's lineup, if I were to Chevrolet and GMC recap this, Chevrolet is more of a volume seller vehicle now. You do have some different trims as far as entry-level trims, RSTs and things. They do also do an all-star package, which is a pretty good package of improvements, changes, wheels and tires, that kind of stuff. It really does dress up the lower trim level Chevy Silverados. The GMC Sierra, more premium interior, more off-roading as far as premium off-roading. They offer, like I said, a 2.7-liter Turbo Max, which even took away the 2.7, just called Turbo Max. It's kind of interesting. They offer a diesel and they offer a gas engine. Right, so a couple different gas engines. That's kind of what your choice there is. Again, transmission's been solid. My only complaints with GM vehicles overall, Chevrolet and GMC combined, has been overall seat comfort. I just feel like they can step it up. The higher trim levels that I've been in, I feel more comfortable on my rear end than the lower trim levels. I don't know. I can't verify that. I don't have a butometer to give you detailed information, but that's what my gut tells me. Now, moving along to Ford. Ford has been one of the best truck lineups or best-selling truck lineups in the country. Again, they talk about Ford F Series. If you read the commercials closely, is the best-selling truck lineup in how many decades, whatever. It's just marketing. It's cool. I mean, it's good for Ford fans. They love saying that stuff, and I'm all about it. You know what? Tout what you got. Looking at the Ford, we have the Ford F-150. Again, we have Maverick, which is more of a compact truck. Think old school 1980s, 70s compact truck. Ranger, more midsize. It's more like a full size was back in 62. We have the Ford F-150 now, which is basically the size of heavy duty now in today's, if you were to kind of think about what it used to be, what it is today. These trucks are also a lot capable. In the case of Ford, much like GM and their trucks, multiple different cab configurations, trim levels, and different engine choices. Let's go ahead and go into build and price, because this is where you really learn a lot on these trucks. Start to build, acknowledge some things are not going to be available. The 2024 model year has some changes, and you can find it on the website at pickuptrucktalk.com. I'll put a link down below, put it on top of the comments. I basically list all the changes for 2024. It's got a different split tailgate. They're doing pushing out more of the hybrid versions of the Power Boost, which I'll talk more about that in a minute. And they have a new package. Excuse me, I got to get, I think my eye. STX, which is an off-road trim. They made that into STX was a package. Now it's its own trim. That's what happened in 2024. So in this case, you have the XLT Lariat. We also do have the King Ranch Platinum Limited and the Tremor and Raptor. So much like GM, we have a full assortment of stuff, except we don't have like a Lincoln version. We don't have a different brand. It's all in one brand with Ford. XL work truck, XLT volume seller. I bought an XLT 2 years ago now, 2021. It's 2023, about 2 years ago. Lariat with a little bit higher trim level, a little bit more. Basically, XLT and Lariat has historically been cloth or leather. I mean, and Lariat, and I'm simplifying things, but that's kind of point of this video. King Ranch, a little bit nicer, softer leather, and some cool logos on it. Platinum is more like your city truck, more city luxury kind of deal. Limited is even more on top of the Platinum. So if you really have more cash to spend, you can see the differences. And a lot of this stuff also comes on features, whether or not you get Ford's Blue Cruise system, or if in the GMC's case, whether you get the Super Cruise system. Tremor is kind of one of my favorite packages. Think of Tremor like Chevrolet's, not ZR2, but excuse me, maybe GMC's AT4. So GMC's AT4. So you basically take the truck and you give it a few more off-road touches, and they really do a cool job with the coloring on the outside. It's got orange highlights throughout the truck on the exterior. And trust me, if you see a Tremor going down the road, it really does turn heads. And then you have the Raptor. The Raptor is just the beast. If you were to take and think about a truck you'd play in a video game, it'd be the Raptor, right? It will go through everything. It'll climb. It'll rock crawl. It is flat out in the desert. It's fast. It's really cool. But most people, again, volume seller, will be more in the XLT range. And when you do XLT, Super Cab, say we do this combination, crew cab, short bed, that's one of the most popular configurations, according to all automakers tell me this stuff. And we start to build. Okay, so I want to get the powertrains and get right to it. So they still offered a 3.3 liter V6. That's in 2023. 2024, that engine goes away. It's really just an entry-level, naturally aspirated engine. I've talked to different dealers in my area who order fleets, and they even tell me they don't buy the engine anymore either, because everybody wants an EcoBoost engine. They want the smaller displacement turbocharged engine. Again, feels fast offline. You have more lower end torque. You have better. The customer feels more performance as far as, and even when towing. I've talked to customers about towing with this engine. They like the towing performance as well, and it's quick. So you have the 2.7 liter EcoBoost engine, and then what do they do? Okay, then you have going back. The 5.0 liter V8. Now, this is a naturally aspirated V8. It does have some deactivation these days, and all of these you can see they have auto start stop technology. You'll find that throughout the lineup. That's when you go to a stop sign, it turns stuff off, and then you hit the gas, turns stuff on. They get an EPA credit for that, so you'll see every truck have that. But you will see a difference here in that in just a minute. So they have the 2.7 liter V6. They have a bigger EcoBoost, 3.5 liter V6, a little more torque, a little more horsepower, a little bigger engine. 5.0 liter V8, no turbos, naturally aspirated, a little bit less torque off line as far as a torque curve. You won't feel as fast, but people do like the V8 sound. They like to think of the V8 as more reliable than a turbocharged engine. So the V8 turns out to be a good option for them. Then you have this Power Boost. It's a full hybrid V6 engine. And what I bring up with this is because it's a hybrid, it runs off a battery and engine. You won't have the auto start stop hesitation at all. It won't go to stop sign and turn itself off. It'll run electric mode only. Another cool part with this is you do get power on board. I had one and it was 7.2 kilowatts of power in the back. Basically, it was a mobile generator. And the thing, you got a lot of criticism when it first came out. I'll tell you, those critics were wrong. It is really cool. I fixed my fence in the backyard. I was able to saw without running a 50-foot extension cord. I went camping. The campground lost power. I was able to power a camper with it. Our house lost power. I don't care. I ran the space heater and I ran some lamps off of it. It's a really cool application, and it makes that into an even better tool. Now, you're thinking hybrid, I get better fuel economy. Nope, not so fast. Actually, the 2.7 gets better fuel economy in a highway setting. In this case, I look at the hybrid as being, let's pick something hybrid. Hybrid, I don't know, I'll say it wrong. Hybrid is being better as far as overall tool of the job. The power on board, the smooth quietness. We went camping and one night in the tent, it was raining and the wind was blowing, and I went and slept in the truck. It was great. Heated seats on. Awesome. Highly recommend that. So that's what you're doing with that lineup there. Now, the 10-speed automatic transmission that Ford has used, which also GM's using. However, Ford has been proving more pragmatic when they're 10-speed. Problematic. And they're three-syllable words and me don't get along. They've been having more issues with that when I've talked to customers. Now, a lot of it is because it's a smart transmission. It learns your driving style. And what I see happening a lot is guys get brand new trucks, or ladies, they get, look how fast it says, and they gun off the line for a while, and then they start driving normally, and the transmission's like, wait, what? And then they have hard shifts, and it's not shifting correctly and things, and then they go in and actually reprogram it, which is basically a reflash software. It learns again, you drive normally, and there you go. So there's the thing for you. Here's a tip. When you get into a brand new truck, don't go crazy with it. these transmission engines got to learn your style, so just drive normally. There's your tip. So let's move along to RAM. And again, I'm going to generalize this stuff, but I'm wondering if you guys want to see me more detailed information like build and price for each of these from my expert opinion. I hate saying expert, but I guess I am. Put comments down below. I'll be curious because this is kind of fun. So we have RAM. RAM's got some really cool stuff happening in the next model year, not this model year. This model year is the last for this RAM 1500 in that. I'm going to go, yeah, because we have 2025 on there. So this is the last year for this one. And what's the big deal? The last year you're going to get Hemi. Hemi, after this model year, is gone. And we replaced by a Hurricane, two different versions of it. It's a 3-liter inline 6 twin turbo engine and lots of torque and should be pretty fun to drive. It's in the Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer right now. I drove it. I liked it, but I want to try it in the truck. I want to try towing with it. They're also doing what's called a Ram Charger. No, Ram Charger. I think it's Ram Charger. Ram lives their name. That's it's not a plug-in hybrid that actually is a plug-in hybrid. It's confusing, trust me. But let's get back to 2023, where you can buy today or for the next couple months because you're going to run out of supply. So in the Ram, like we have with Chevy, GMC, and Ford, we have our limited Longhorn, high dollar versions, CEO trucks. Rebel, I want to get dirty. I want to have more lift. I want bigger tires. Laramie, I don't need to spend all the money on a limited. I want to have more comfort, though, more features. I want to have a nice leather seats. I want a bigger screen. Bighorn, that's your volume seller. They'll sell majority of Bighorns, and then Tradesman, which is your work truck. And in this case, do we go with capability without building price? Let's see what capability says. Confidence. They all tow about 12, 13,000 pounds, 11, 12,000 pounds. That's all in that same range. So with the 5.7, the 3.6 Pentastar V6, that's been out for a long period of time. It's one of the trusted engines. That engine lives on. That'll be powering the Ram Charger. Ram Charger. Yeah, whatever. The 3-liter EcoDiesel, which they got rid of that. And the 6.2-liter supercharged Hemi V8. Oh, God bless America engine. That's gone. So if you want to buy a Ram TRX, which is probably the most badass version of a truck and a true Ford Raptor competitor, sorry, Chevrolet, with your ZR2, that is the last year you can do that. The TRX is, as we know it, basically going away because the supercharged engine is going away. It'll probably get the Hurricane engine, high output, 3-liter inline 6, and I just don't know if I can call that a TRX. Maybe all in lower caps, not full caps. Yeah. All right. So that's kind of what you're thinking with this. You do get different trims and things. One of the things that's interesting with the let's do two things that people like about Rams is first the exterior. It's a good looking truck, but I want to talk about the multi-function tailgate. It's basically Dutch doors, 60-40 split. Open them this way, or as well you can have Ram boxes. Where's the Ram boxes? Right there. Really cool Ram boxes in the regular bed. The Ram box is open. They have storage in there. The lights. You can actually drain stuff. It's a pretty cool thing. I actually like it quite a bit. In the interior of the Ram, this is when it's groundbreaking. When this came out in 2019, people were like, "Wait, what? What's that?" Because it was so revolutionary. So you have this massive screen, which every time I get this truck for 7 days to test, man, I could spend 7 days messing around with the screen. It is so, I would say, complicated, but also easy to use. It's one of those things. It's just so cool, though. You end up getting a little distracted. That may happen to me a time or two. You do get used to it as an owner, but yeah, it's interesting. The other controversial thing you find in the interior is they still have this dial shifter on the dial. I don't know. It's interesting. Ford offers a column shifter and a console shifter, and GM, I believe, offers a column shifter and console shifter as well in lower trim levels. In this case, the Rim, you get a little dial, and I've just never gotten used to that. But maybe you do. People do. Owners tell me that it's not a big deal. But what a cool looking interior. It's just a cool truck. It's on my list of things to buy. I just every time I go to buy one, they kill the engine I want to buy. All those things. All right, so let's go on to Toyota. Again, three-syllable words, not my friend. So we're looking at Toyota. So we're gonna look at vehicles. The Tundra came out in 2022. 2022? Yeah, 2021, 2020. Yeah. I bought one. That's what I remember. So the Tundra is out in 2024. Much like the other brands, you do have some entry levels, trims, and all the way up. Unlike the other brands, Toyota does not have a massive fleet business, and so you don't see as many different cab configurations and options as you do the other brands, and you don't see as many engine choices either because they just don't have the production volume or, frankly, the desire to chase numbers like Ford does and Chevy does. That Toyota sells a lot of cars. They're one of the world's largest automakers globally. They sell some Tundras in North America. It's probably good enough. All right, so looking at the Tundra, let's go to build and price. Easy way to do it. And boom, we have SR, which is their work truck trim. But again, we only have a double cab configuration. We don't have the regular cab like you do in the other trucks. SR5, which is their volume seller. Limited, which is what I bought. And the reason I bought it was I wanted the heated seats and heated steering wheel, which is important to me here in cold Nebraska. Platinum, a little bit higher trim level, a little bit more luxury, more your city kind of truck. That kind of, I keep saying city truck, but it's kind of the idea of it's got more premium interior, and you see more commercials about being around cities and not so much getting dirty in the country, because trucks are different things to different people. Not the truck doesn't always have to be towing. It doesn't always have to be in the country. It doesn't always have to be in dirt. It can do different things. 1794. So imagine the Platinum is your city truck. 1794 is your cowboy truck. Lots of leather interior, lots of cool like stamping. 1794 is the year the ranch was built, or whatever it was founded, that the Toyota Tundra plant, or Toyota San Antonio plant where they built a Tundra in, was located on. Boy, I messed that up. Basically, it's where they build the factory and what the factory ground was called, the 1794. Yes. The TRD Pro is their off-road cool version of it. Now that one is going to be your competitor to ZR2. I'm not sure it's a Ford Raptor competitor. It's going to be for some customers, and it could be, but I don't know. It's just kind of a cool option. Again, more aggressive looking. It comes in different wild colors, and yeah, it's pretty exciting. The Capstone, which is their top trim level, will have much more luxury interior, much more like a platinum interior, and then they have a limited special edition somewhere in there, but they're not offering right now. It even has more leather interior. Saw it in Texas going on a couple months ago. So really cool looking truck as far as some really premium grade leather interior in that truck too. So we talked about cab and beds. We basically have a double cab, which is their version of extended cab. We have two different bed lengths and the Crew Max. In the powertrain, we have two choices. They call them both iForce engines. We have an iForce V6. It's a 3.4 liter. It was a 3.5 for a hot minute, but not 3.4 for whatever reason. And we have a 3.4 liter V6 hybrid version, iForce Max. This is your hybrid version of that truck. I bet hey man, it's like different grade. We'll select the limited grade. No, we'll select the, yeah. I think limited comes in both powertrains. No, nope, got to go back. So not every engine comes with each powertrain and each bed, and you get the gist. So we do have a Crew Max. So I want to go back to, we have the Crew Max with a 6.5 foot bed too. So you can get two different options: 5.5, 6 foot, 6.5, which is basically the chief engineers needed that because he couldn't fit a snowmobile in the back of his 5.5 foot bed. So he demanded that, and he got it. That's cool. iForce Max, like I taught you, was the hybrid, and the iForce V6. Now again, you're thinking hybrid. Hey Tim, you say hybrid funny anyways, but B, this is for fuel economy, right? Not so fast, my friend. This is about more power. That hybrid, you can see 437 foot-pounds of torque and 583 or 437 horsepower and 583 pound-feet of torque. Now, you compare that with iForce Max, you have 479 pound-feet of torque at 2,400 RPMs. Again, more torque, more horsepower in the hybrid, not better for the economy. Okay, so you kind of, that's what you're with the Toyota. There's different packages, different things you can get with these trucks. Not as many packages as you can with, say, Ford and Ram and GM, and not as many options as you can. Historically, you can't order a Toyota truck. You can go to dealership and tell you what you want, and they'll try to match something coming off, but they don't do special orders. What the other ones do, they offer more features, more special orders. But people love Toyota Tundra because resale value is really high and reliability is usually top of the game. So if I were to rank these reliability, I've always said that among, oh wait, I didn't talk about this. Nissan Titan, dead for this year. That's why I'm not talking about it. Yeah, move along. Anyways, let's rank these reliability real fast. Segue. So the Toyota Tundra is usually on the top of the charts for reliability. You definitely have the volume players. You typically have Chevy, Ford, and Ram. However, hold the phone. We got some changes this year. We have the Toyota Tundra, according to Consumer Reports and who else? Car Complaints and the NITS as well. It's kind of come down as far as reliability. And so you have the most reliable truck in the market is the Ram 1500. Until next year when it makes a bunch of changes and everything gets new and you got to work the bugs out, as people say. So you have basically Ram, Chevy, Ford in that range, Toyota, GMC kind of in that range too. So reliability is not that big of a gap as it used to be. They've come kind of close, but people are still having a little issue with a powertrain here and there. And occasionally a turbo goes out here and there. Transmission's been an issue. Infotainment system's been an issue. Connecting your cell phone's been an issue for a lot of customers. Seat comfort, I would say Nissan Titan with the best comfortable seats, and they no longer make a truck. So kind of goes to that. I'd kind of rank Ram really top of the list. The Toyota Tundra I have is pretty good in that realm. The Chevy Silverado, not loving it. GMC Sierra a little bit better. It's in that little premium trim. You pay a little more, maybe a little more cushion. Ford is in that realm. I do like Ford's cloth seats more like the leather seats, but I need to give the problem I have with Ford leather seats is when I get them, they're just not worn enough. It seems like those leather seats, the more you drive them, the more they wear them. In a press vehicle situation, once they hit 12,000 miles, they auction them off. So we never get them with more miles on them. Price, comfort, fuel economy is all in the similar realm, mid to low 20s, unless you do the diesel from the Silverado, and the GMC offers diesel too. I've gotten anywhere from 30 miles per gallon. That's about the only one that stands out. All the hybrids are about the same fuel economy, and towing and payload is all about the same. Features: GMC Sierra with the Denali Ultimates, pretty darn cool. Lots of the self cruise, the amazing interior, the Vader chrome exterior grille looks pretty cool. Looking at Ford, the Ford, I would say limited with the with the top trim level with that Blue Cruise. Super Cruise is a little bit better than Blue Cruise at this stage. That's that semi-autonomous driving where you just basically do the. If you've not seen the commercial, that's what the guy does. So that's probably where you're at with that. Again, volume sellers are going to be those trim levels. And as most YouTubers go, and myself included, we tend to show the top trim levels because that's what we get for review. We don't get the mid trim levels, but the mid trim levels, I'm also doing a video on those, and they're pretty cool. There's a lot. I want to say it's pretty cool because in today's day and age, it's so exciting for trucks. Trucks have never been better. Yes, prices have gone up. Yes, somebody said you can't just leave high school and go buy a truck. I don't know if that was ever the case. So, things have gotten more expensive, but you're getting a lot more for your dollar when you start actually getting behind the wheel. They drive better. They're quieter as far as riding them. They have more safety technology. They do not kill pedestrians. Sorry, that's a loadable. They have more technology, and they're more efficient, and they're better overall for the environment. frankly. It's just they're better. But yeah, they're more expensive. So that's what I got. So for more, check out videos over here, website down below as well. Oh my gosh, 30 minutes. I try to be short. That's about as short as I can get. Let me know on heavy duties. Let me know your thoughts on the questions asked in the channel because I forgot them already. Maybe you didn't. I don't know. As always, thanks for watching. I will see you down the road.